House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her husband Paul are at the center of another controversy. And this time it doesn't involve alcohol. This time the speaker is being called out over her husband's stock trading. Mr. Pelosi made a stock purchase of more than $1 million. The category is $1 to $5 million, so we don't know exactly how much. But anyway, it's a computer chip company, which you know is pretty valuable right now if you try to get a car. It happened right before a big congressional vote, one that's set for as early as tomorrow and could hand a massive subsidy to who? Chip manufacturers. And while there's no suggestion that Mr. Pelosi broke the law, some are questioning the timing of this massive stock trade. Guys, lucky. All this comes just weeks after Pelosi was arrested on suspicion of drunk driving in Napa County, California. Steve Hill.
Well, no suggestion. You brought it. Okay, fine. No, we won't suggest it. I just think, first of all, this is so endemic in Washington. We were just talking about the swamp. This is another manifestation of it. And it's not just the Democrats and it's not just Pelosi. But again, she's the most high-profile example. There's a long track record of this. Time after time, going back years, she's been involved in these kinds of stories, and there's no evidence, and we will say the same thing, and then you think, well, why isn't it illegal? I mean, what is going on? And then the other part of it would add in there is that there's a whole kind of hidden wiring of Congress that we don't cover enough, which is the committees, right? Most of the policy, the regulations that affect businesses who have an interest are done in these committees, the subcommittees on whatever it is, the chemical industry or whatever. And that is totally unscrutinized. And they go on these committees and they get donations from the companies that they regulate and they get information because it's all so corrupt. And I don't know. I mean, we've got to focus on these stories, otherwise nothing will change.
Yeah, you do, because if someone is giving information and they're continuing to benefit off it, I mean, if you or I did that, if Martha Stewart did that, she goes to prison. So I'm a little confused at why they get all the gifts.
Yeah. I have very few notes written down on this topic, but the one that I do have is this is the definition of swampy behavior. Because it so is. And then there's this guy, his name's Craig Holman. He's a government affairs lobbyist for a left-wing think tank called Public Citizen, and he did an interview with the Daily Caller and said, it certainly raises the specter that Paul Pelosi could have access to some inside legislative information. Here's the thing. This blows my mind. This is the reason why there is a stock trading app that exclusively monitors Paul's trading activity, and then its followers do likewise, which is crazy to believe that people actually think that Paul Pelosi has insider information and then are trading their own stocks according to what he does.
That's fascinating.
Brilliant. What a brilliant piece of information. Wow.
Yeah, that is fascinating. I will say this is the biggest proof I have that Paul Pelosi and Nancy Pelosi think they are untouchable. Because if you know you're being scrutinized in this manner, and they've been scrutinized in this manner since December at least, when they were talking about the Stock Act, the New York Post in January saying, Paul Pelosi did $30 billion in big bet trading at a time when Nancy Pelosi's regulating these companies. Even if there's no wrongdoing here, the appearance of wrongdoing. Why are you doing this when everyone's watching your trades?
Nancy Pelosi didn't support that act initially, right?
Then she changed.
And then she had to change her mind.
Yep.
Wow, I want you guys to show up on the Hill.
Exactly.
Steve, last thoughts.
I just think that, it's so important. It can be complicated, and there's so many other things going on. But actually, if we want government that responds to our interests and not the interests of the big companies and the lobbyists, then we've got to expose this stuff and do something about it.
This reminded me, when you're talking about the secrets on Capitol Hill, of the Shush Fund. When women would speak up about abuse, staffers on the Hill, and they were shushed with money from a fund that was our money, right?
Wow, yeah.
It was our money, but we didn't know that it was being spent on these women to keep them quiet, legitimate victims, and in cases that we would not even learn about.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.